Hi DIY friends! I'm so incredibly excited to share with you our brand new patio. When we built the she shed, I always wanted a patio attached onto it, and it took a few years, but finally we have the patio of my dreams. I'm so excited to finally share it with you. Obviously, we still need to do some landscaping, but we can finally sit outside and enjoy our backyard. And all of this kind of rolls into the theme of today's video. These are my absolute favorite patio hacks. And the first item I wanted to share with you are some terracotta pot hacks. I love these because you can find them just about anywhere year round. Even Dollar Tree carries them. So head there first, grab them for their really cheap prices. And this first idea, you're also going to need a jar candle from Dollar Tree, and then I'm going to be pairing them with these really cool wood wicks. I'll link them down below. I found them on Amazon, but I love them because they give you that crackle effect. And we're going to make some outdoor candles. So first things first, we need to take some tape and tape up the bottom hole on our terracotta pots and attach our wicks to the bottom of the inside of the pots as well. So we're going to take some super glue, add them to the bottom of the metal piece that the wicks sit into, and then set those as much over that hole in the bottom of the pot that we possibly can. Let that set up before we move on to the next step. And that is going to be to melt down our candle wax to turn it into some bug repellent wax. So we're going to turn our stove up to medium heat and put a pot of water on there. Now I like to put my candles in the water before it's boiling so it kind of comes up to temperature. And then as soon as you get sort of a medium rolling boil, that is when you're going to start seeing the wax melt down in your candles. And you also can take some tongs here and pull your wicks out of the candles and use those in the bottoms of your terracotta pots if you want. If you don't want to purchase new ones, or you don't want to purchase the wood ones, reuse these wicks because they're still good to use too. Now we can very super carefully, with some oven mitts on, pour that melted wax into our terracotta pots. Save your glass jars. Obviously, these are great for crafting too. If you guys have ideas of how you would repurpose those glass canisters, let me know down in the comments below. I've saved mine and still not sure what to do with them. Let me know though. We're gonna add some essential oils to these terracotta pots now. Obviously, peppermint, lemon, and citronella are the great ones to use for bug repellent. So I added about 20 drops into each one, and I added a little bit of a combination of the other two to give some different scents, and then just stirred that in there. Once your wax has had a chance to cool down and harden, it's going to look like this. And then you're going to take some scissors and trim that wick down. Now, looking back, I probably should have trimmed mine down a little bit more because you'll see the tall flame and effect that you're going to get with the taller wick that's a little less safe. So trim those wicks down a little bit farther than that. Also put them on a terracotta saucer to protect whatever surface that you are burning these on. Use these indoors or use these outdoors, but they smell so good, sound so good with those crackling wood wicks, and they're really cute outside too in that pretty terracotta pot. Next, let's make the cutest garden turtle with the help of a 6.5-inch terracotta saucer and then these mini baby-sized terracotta pots you can get in a set of 4 from Dollar Tree. And then I'm using this wood-shaped, not sure what it is, from Hobby Lobby. It was only $2.49 for the head of our turtle. And you're also going to need some paint. Now, I'm using some patio paint. I found it on Amazon. I'll link it down below. You can probably use regular acrylic paint. You're just going to want to seal it. Outdoor patio paint is made to go outside, withstand the elements. So if you can, grab some outdoor paint. You can get each color separately, even at craft stores like Hobby Lobby too, so you don't have to buy a whole set. Because obviously we're going to be using some green colors for this little guy. So started with a coat of a dark green and then came in with a lighter green color to make some little shapes in the style of a tortoise shell so that we could kind of piece together these shapes all the way around the saucer to create the tortoise's shell, the turtle shell. It's kind of almost like a soccer ball pattern, and just freehanded this with a chisel shaped paintbrush. Makes it a little bit easier with all those points. And here's what it looks like after one coat, which you can leave it here if you want, if you like that kind of textured look. But I decided to come back in with another coat of the same color to kind of darken it up and define it a little bit more. Let this all dry, and then we can start putting our cute little garden turtle together. Now we're going to be putting this together with this sort of permanent double-sided tape. I'll link it down below too. I like it because it's mess free, but you can also use hot glue, or honestly like a construction kind of glue would even work for this, especially since it's going to go outside. Then it will withstand the elements a little bit better and give you a longer life to your cute turtle. But this is what the feet look like put on the bottom of the saucer, and now we can add some details to that wooden ball so that we can add his cute little eyeballs, just using some white paint and a black paint pen to give him some pupils, and then attach that onto the shell with that double-sided tape. And that's all there is to creating your own cute little garden turtle. You can also put plants on his back so it kind of becomes its own little raised tray. I just think it's adorable, a cute little addition to the garden. This is a really pretty way to add some ambiance to your garden to create this beautiful luminary. We're going to take a larger sized terracotta pot and we're going to put some packing paper, or you can put styrofoam in the bottom. We just want to fill it up on the inside so that we don't have to use a ton of these decorative river rocks, and you just kind of get the decorative look on the top. So I also added a saucer on top of that and a Dollar Tree luminary vase on top of the saucer, added some more river rocks and put a candle inside. You could also do a citronella candle in here to get that bug be gone effect, but you also get the really pretty look of this luminary, very pretty day and night. Now let's do some outdoor patio organization hacks. You can find these over-the-door hooks at Dollar Tree. I love them because they're powder coated, so they are going to withstand the elements outside. So think outside the box sometimes when you're at Dollar Tree. This does not have to be just used indoors. You can actually use these on the side of a fence if it's small enough, or we have this outdoor little cabinet system that I added the hook to the outside of, perfect for drying wet towels, wet swimsuits, or muddy things that you can then take the hose to and rinse off. You can also find these drawstring mesh bags at Dollar Tree. They're almost backpack style, but they're completely open, which allows air to get through there. So what we're going to do with this one is just use it for wet things for outside. Absolutely perfect for things like water guns, water splash balls, sand toys, anything that kind of gets wet and messy that you want to tuck away, but that needs to be dried out before it does. So again, just add your outdoor toys or even garden tools to this, and then you can just hang it up on things, something like that little hook system that I showed you earlier. So that way everything can dry. Once it's dry, you can go ahead and tuck it away. Obviously, as I'm showing you here, super easy to just throw on your back too and get it from point A to point B. I bet you didn't think that a dog collar would come in handy for organization. Well, let me show you how it does. You just take this and unclip it, and you can use it for things like extension cords like this or garden hoses to keep everything from unwinding. There's another little trick to this. You can actually not clip it all together. You can leave it undone just a little bit and then wrap it around something like a deck rail, which I'm going to show you here. And then there's also a little ring on it, which is usually for your leash whenever you're walking your puppy. But you can either tuck this around a rail like this to use it as a hook, or hang it straight onto a nail like this, or the hook on the side, you can hang it from there too. It's a little bit more sturdy and secure that way. I have done 3 planter hacks videos, and I'm going to share with you some of my absolute favorite using Dollar Tree planters. This first one is my absolute favorite because it is quick easy and so useful too. We're going to take our hot glue gun and we're going to use it to melt holes, 2 on one side and then 2 on the other side, equally distanced apart. And that is going to create a hole for us to then put some rope and jute through so we can create our own hanging basket. Now, when you do this and you're using a hot glue gun, sometimes the holes kind of close back up, but if you take some needle nose pliers and just kind of route out those holes, they will open up bigger, so then you can then get those ropes through the holes. Next, you're going to need your rope, obviously. I like to use 4-ply jute. It is thick rope, but it's not too thick. And it's going to be great in the weather because it's not going to break down so easily since it's not made out of something like cotton. We're going to take a long string of this rope and put it from the outside to the inside of the bucket, grab the opposite end of that rope and put it through the next hole over. We're going to pull those through the inside of our planter. You can see we pulled that tight. We're going to do that and repeat that on the other side. So basically now we're going to have 4 tails total once we get this all pulled through. We're going to grab those 4 tails and try to level and even them up as much as we can. And then we're going to tie a knot at the top, which is going to allow us to hang this planter. So we go from a regular everyday planter to a hanging one so quick and so easy. So what I love about this too is you can take this idea and not necessarily use it as a planter. You could use this for organization as well. So not just using plants on the inside of it, but you could also use it outside and put things like your gardening gloves, your gardening tools in it. You could use it inside if you wanted for whatever you needed organized. And I just think it's a great, simple idea. So I've had this wood faux window for a while and I wanted to add some more organization to our back patio. And so you can find these great hooks at Dollar Tree. And I feel like this is one of the best things that they carry because they're practical, they're really sturdy, and they're also obviously pretty cheap to you at only $1.25 each. So what I decided to do was flip them to the other side so that way I could install them kind of upside down and create my own shelf. I just screwed these right onto the window itself, hung the window back up on our siding, and then we're going to attach a shelf. Now, since this is going to be going outside, I did want to seal it. I love polyacrylic. It's a water-based, clear polyurethane, and it also doesn't yellow, which is why it's great. So it doesn't weather and age your wood over time. It's going to protect it and seal it, and it's going to look great season after season. So just added a simple coat of that on there with a foam paintbrush, and then we're going to add some of this construction adhesive onto the tops of those brackets to secure this, because since there is no holes on this side of our bracket, you obviously could go in with a bit and you could drill your own holes, or skip that altogether and use some construction adhesive, add that to the tops of your brackets, set your wood shelf right on top, and we have some quick and easy instant organization for the back patio and porch. Isn't this old toolbox so cool? I got it at a flea market. It was only like $5. It reminded me of my grandpa. I had to get it. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it, but it was the perfect little planter for my succulents. And also these brackets from Dollar Tree double as a little hanger. So you can see I hung one of my garden tools off of the little hook there, and it just kind of created this whole finished little potting area, potting station on our back patio. And I love the addition of the live plants. I even have a little Dollar Tree gnome hidden in there. So cute. I just gave him a coat of spray paint and he kind of hides. I just like it. I think it's cute. Let's add some more organization to this space though. You can also find these hook systems at Dollar Tree. And I want to show you, I was going to add it to the bottom of this window, but it didn't hold my garden tools. They just kind of hit the table underneath it. So I came up with a great idea. And I hope this idea also helps you not just outside in your patio area, your potting station. I hope it also helps maybe in your kitchen or your bathroom too, where you're needing some extra hanging space and you've got a shelf like this. So instead of hanging it straight onto the wall, I decided let's hang it up underneath that shelf I had just installed. We're gonna take some heavy duty pliers and we're just gonna bend those hooks and give it some more curvature, I guess, so that way nothing would fall off the hooks once I had it installed. So it takes a little bit of muscle and it takes some good pliers, unless you got some strong hands, and you just want to bend your hooks just like I'm showing you here, up back towards the top of your installation backing. So here's all those hooks ready to go now. And as you can see on the back of this hook system, there's little holes already for you. That's where we're going to add our screws. So take some smaller screws and you'll just screw this hook system right up underneath your cabinet or your shelf. See, so incredibly quick and easy and very, very sturdy too. So of course I'm using this here for my back porch so I can add things like my gardening gloves and my gardening tools. So they're handy and they're up off the table. So I have the table to actually use for potting things, planting things, and storing things like my watering can. I love this little space. It is a small little space on our back porch. However, it has come in so handy. I use this all the time. And the table underneath it is actually an indoor console table. I just sealed it real good and I put it on my back porch and patio. Here's one more idea to include in this whole spiel of my back porch and potting station. You can find these plastic buckets at Dollar Tree in a set of 3 for $1.25. So great price. You can actually hang these buckets from those hooks, and then you have more storage options to hold smaller things or things that don't necessarily hang. Again, it gets it up off your workstation and creates more organization. It never fails. Year after year, Dollar Tree carries their solar lights, and I do really like them. You just want to test them before you buy them to make sure they work. And obviously test them before you craft with them too. I'm going to show you a really simple and easy way to gussy up a solar light, take it from kind of bland and normal to pretty using some Dollar Tree glass gems. We're going to use a combination of super glue and also some hot glue to attach these glass gems all the way around the clear part of our solar light, and it's just going to add some color and a little bit more glisteningness. I'm not sure if that's a word or not. We're going to coin that phrase, glisteningness, to our outdoor solar light. And look how easy and quick that was. Just kind of offset them a little bit as you go row by row. Here it is lit up at night. How cute is that? I just love when you can do something super quick and easy and it gives you a really fun effect. So I'm going to show you some other color options. I added some green to some blue to get a combo, and then just a green one. Pretty in a vase if you don't have someplace to stick them in the yard, or stick them in your landscaping. So these planters at Dollar Tree slide onto your deck railing, so you can create kind of a deck planter, or I'm sure that's what they thought it was for. I came up with a better idea, or a different idea. Maybe not a better idea, but a different idea. They slide right onto your railing, and instead of adding dirt and flowers, we're gonna add some ice and drinks. So you have a quick little ice bucket for entertaining, or if you're just sitting out on the patio by yourself, you wanna keep your bottled water cold, throw some ice into one of these buckets and enjoy. If you're wondering, these citronella sticks actually do work. I do really like them and purchase them year after year. They come in a pack of 6, so great price, and you get plenty in a pack, and they last not too long, but they do burn down kind of slowly. I want to show you a quick and easy holder for them. You can find these terracotta pots at Dollar Tree. We're going to flip it upside down. We're just going to stick one of these sticks right down into the hole, almost like an incense holder, incense burner. But, you know, maybe you already have terracotta pots on hand. These that are from Dollar Tree fit perfectly. My mom gave me this cute elephant planter one year, so I tucked it down in there and made even a cuter little holder. So if you have another planter you can tuck it down into, you can do that. And if you've never seen these before, it's so easy to use. You just light the top, you make sure it starts burning, blow out the flame, and it will continue to burn down slowly, and it will get rid of those pesky bugs that like to come around. I guess bugs are a really big problem here. And actually, I'm going to say yes, bugs are a really big problem here. So anyway, I can create something that's going to keep them away, I'm going to. So Dollar Tree has these bubble vases, filled it with water. I grabbed some essential oils and I threw those in the water, ones that are going to keep the bugs away. And then also grab some rosemary out of the garden. That's another bug deterrent. There's a tip and trick for you. And then Dollar Tree also carries floating candles. So yes, our concoction in the water is what's going to keep the bugs away, but when we add the floating candle, it gives you beautiful ambiance at the same time, which I'm all for. Great daytime, beautiful, especially at nighttime, but just a really quick and easy way to keep the bugs away while it still is looking beautiful. Oh, pool noodles. How we love Dollar Tree pool noodles. They have them all year long now in all different colors, but especially at summertime. We're going to grab one of those and also one of Dollar Tree's broom handles, or use a broom handle that you already have that you can twist off and reuse. We're going to cut a pool noodle down to about, I would say, 2 feet, maybe 2.5 feet long. Of course, get rid of the sticker. We're going to take a knife and we're going to cut an X right in the middle of our pool noodle. You can see here, don't go too deep. We don't want it too big, so we're going to use that and some super glue to twist our broom handle onto this pool noodle. Why in the world are we doing that? Why are we putting a broom handle on a pool noodle? Well, it's going to give us an awesome outdoor tool, and it's going to be a very awesome hack. So once we get the super glue into the pool noodle, twist your handle on, let it set up, I would say a good hour, and then take this baby outside. If you have water on a deck or your patio, you can use it as a squeegee. How cool is that? And as you can see, it works really good too. Now this just dawned on me out of the blue. I had one of these Dollar Tree laundry baskets and it got a hole in the bottom, and I was worried about cracking it, picking it up all the time, and I didn't want to just throw it out. So I thought, what in the world could I use this for? I can use it outside. It would be perfect for twisting up my garden hose. And sure enough, it was. It's plastic, so it's safe for outside, and if it's wet, all the holes in the laundry basket allow it to dry out, and it keeps everything contained so you don't have a garden hose all over the place. Just takes a little bit to twist it up in there, and you have your own $1.25 garden hose organizer. So easy. Aren't these mason jar cups so stinking cute? I grabbed one of the blue ones, and we are not going to use this as a cup, but we are going to take out the straw and save that because that's going to be so fun to use during the summertime with our lemonade. And we're going to make a centerpiece instead. So I added some white rock to the bottom, a battery-powered tea light to the bottom, both from Dollar Tree, and we're going to reattach the lids. You just twist that back on, and we're going to add some flags in here. Well, unfortunately, the hole in the lid was a little bit too small, but that was an easy fix. Just take some needle nose pliers, hammer it down, turn it a few times, and that is going to largen that hole so you can now put these flags in there to create a centerpiece. But the flags are always really, really wrinkly, so I just took an iron, ironed them out so they looked so much more tailored and pretty, stuck the little dowel rods into those holes, did my best to get the dowel rods around the tea light on the inside so it would stay in the center. Quick, easy, 4th of July centerpiece, so cute for inside and out. Now this is the biggest planter hack I've ever made. I grabbed these big planters from Dollar Tree. Check the plus section. They have them for $3 and $5, good sized planters. And we're gonna make a little side table. So you're gonna flip the first one upside down, take some construction adhesive, and run that adhesive along the bottom edge. And also don't go skimpy here. Put a lot on there. It's gonna benefit you in the long run. Now we're gonna take another pot and we're gonna flip it right side up, and we're gonna line up the bottom to where this will sit in all of that adhesive that we just added to the bottom pot. Now grab out that construction adhesive one more time. We're gonna take it and run it around the top edge as best we can. It's pretty thin, but do a very thin line of glue all the way around before adding our wood top. See, easy peasy. It's just, you gotta be careful. You gotta make sure that you have your top centered so that way you can just push it down quickly. You don't wanna like push the adhesive all over the place to get it centered, because then that's going to lessen the adhesive factor that we need for this to stay together long term. Once you get it set down, push on the top, get it all stuck in there really good. And the center of this table was looking a little rough to me. So we're gonna fix that with some nautical rope, again from Dollar Tree. We're gonna put it around the middle, just tie a knot in the back, wrap it around a few times, and then we're gonna tie another knot in the back, and that's gonna secure it into place. Now this has to be one of my favorite things I've ever made because it has every single box checked off. It was quick, it was cheap, it was easy, it's practical, and it's obviously so pretty too. So earlier I showed you how to make a little bitty ice bucket, but this is a fun way to create a raised larger ice bucket. And we're also gonna need the help of a tomato cage. So head to the department store, Tractor Supply, something like that, garden section at the hardware store. And we're gonna take one of our Dollar Tree planters, set it on the inside of the tomato cage. Notice that the tomato cage is flipped upside down here. And we're gonna form that planter to the bottom of the tomato cage, if that makes sense. And as you can see, I'm bending down the points of the tomato cage to the inside of the planter. That is going to secure that on there, and that planter is not going to come back off. So we just made one piece all integrated together. And at this point, you can use this as an ice bucket as what I intended it to be. So you just add your ice, add your drinks in here. But you can also use this in other ways too. You could put it by a pool and put sunscreen in it, dry towels in it. You could put this in the backyard and put bug spray in it. You could put this by a game that you're gonna play outside to hold things like your cell phones or your drinks. So get creative. This was another quick thing that's actually really handy and works great too. I had to throw this one in here because still to this day, I have you very wonderful viewers criticize me for this one, and you'll see when we get to that point what I'm talking about. But we're gonna make some plant hangers with some concrete quickcrete mix, some broom handles from Dollar Tree, and some of those hooks from Dollar Tree. Safety always first when you're working with concrete. You need a mask, you need gloves, you need eye protection. Yell at me again, please do it in the comments. I did not wear a respirator and I absolutely regret it. You should never do that. Concrete is nasty, nasty stuff. You do not want it in your lungs. But obviously it's outside, so that helps a little bit, but you can see all that dust just flying in the wind, and you don't want that in your nose, you don't want that in your mouth, you don't want that in your lungs. So don't do as I do. Put some of that concrete in your planter though, and then we're going to slowly mix in some water until it is the right consistency. All right, so here's the consistency we're going for. Not too thick, not too thin, but you want it to be pretty hydrated. Then we're going to come in with a broomstick, stick that down into the concrete, and to hold this until the concrete sets up, I'm using some painter's tape around the pole, and that's going to hold it up for us. You'll want to read your concrete to see how long it takes to set up. I'm pretty sure mine said 4 hours, but I let mine set a full 24 hours before I actually used it. And what is it about Dollar Tree stickers? I should have taken the sticker off before I put the stick down into the bucket. So instead of trying to peel it off and use Goo Gone and all that kind of stuff, I just spray painted it. It was quick and easy. Had to sit overnight anyway. Once the concrete had set up, I removed the painter's tape. You can see we are good to go now. And now we're going to install one of these hooks. You saw I used it earlier for a shelf and hook system. Now we're going to attach it onto the broom pole to create a planter bracket stand. And this was super fun, not really, to do. You need to take a drill bit and drill into your broomstick before then installing it with a screw. You're also going to need a dowel rod to set down in there, so that way it has something to grab onto. And now is the part where you can tell me, Shannon, you are doing this wrong. You are doing this 100% wrong. We'll get there though. We're gonna grab a dowel rod from Walmart, one that's going to fit down into the inside of our broomstick. Slide it down in there. Don't let it fall to the bottom though, because we need it at the top and it's not long enough to go the whole length of the broomstick. So this was also fun, trying to need 3 hands to do something when you've only got 2. But now that we have the holes pre-drilled, we can easily insert our screws into the bracket, into the broom handle, and into the wood stick. And now you can tell me, Shannon, you did it wrong. you installed these upside down. And I honestly realized that when I went to go add the hanging basket and they didn't want to stay on there. So don't do what I did. Flip them things the other way so that your hanging baskets don't fall off. Yeah, there's a little trick. Obvious thing that wasn't obvious to me for some reason. Maybe it's because I made the shelf and I did it that way, but I should have flipped it over. Anyway, I added some decorative rocks to the inside of the planters so they looked a little bit nicer. They didn't see that ugly concrete in there. And now we have mobile hanging stations. If you enjoyed this video, then you need to come back next week as I have some brand new Pottery Barn dupes, perfect for outside, that are going to save you a ton of money DIYing. These are so good. You're not going to want to miss it. So if you haven't yet, hit subscribe, click the notification bell so you don't miss that. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Hit that thumbs up button and I will see you in the next one. Have a creative day.